Guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello friends, it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Bloop. Hump Day edition. Bloop. Debsy. So this is probably going to be the second video that you see from me today. Why is that, you ask? Well, it's because the shit show known as the Bachelorettes this season is still going on. There's no chance of it ever ending. So I'm here to recap the second night of fuckery. Just to let you know, earmuffs on if you do not like cursey words. This is not a video for the young children to listen to. And if you do not like cursey words, I will not be offended if you don't listen. It's just that when I get passionate about things, my language turns a little blue. So just to let you know, cursey words are included. So night 2 of this shit show, Gabby is going out with her third man. This man is the man that she's pinning all her hopes and dreams of a perfect happily ever after on, and that is Jason. Girl, it seems like everything is okay during the day. They go, what did they do? They went out and played tennis. They played tennis and then they went swimming. And I have to give props to the producer who decided to put Eric's room facing out to the pool so he could listen to and watch everything that they were doing, because he's not already like distraught enough over the fact that she could very well be sleeping with other men in the fantasy suite. Let's make sure he can watch them frolicking in the pool and drinking their champs. So everything seemed really good. So she is, like I said, she's really pinning everything on this guy. She's 100% sure he's the one, and she's gonna get an engagement. Everything's great. Well, then dinner happens, and he just jumps right in and says, listen, he's not fully there 100% that he's in love with her. And he doesn't know if he can get to an engagement. He says, listen, I'm a realist. So I have to look at reality. Funny, because you're a realist and you went on a dating show that is set in like these fantasy world like locations. So, okay. So she's real upset. Now here's the thing. If you knew all along, like, hey, listen, I don't know that I can get to the point where I'm gonna do an engagement. Why would you continue to like string her along and just keep taking the roses? I mean, is it because did he want a vacation and he just couldn't pay for it, or what? I mean, is that the case? And also, here's another thing. I understand, like, in the for real world, you're not going to be proposing to someone after you know them for like a month. Most people aren't. You're not going to go out on 2 dates and then you're going to be like, I propose. Most people are not. But the premise of this show is that if you're picked, then you're going to propose. Guaranteed. I mean, the engagement's probably not going to last, but still, I don't understand that. So she's very upset. She walks away, and then after a while, he goes and talks to her. He talks to her, and they come to an agreement. I was so mad that I didn't black out at this point, but I don't even know what they said, but I was so mad. But then Gabby said, well, if you want to accept the rose for the fantasy suite, maybe we can hash this out, and we can come, to a better understanding of what's going on. He jumped on. He was like, listen, he wasn't thinking with this head. You know what I mean? So, Gabby, what the hell? What the hell? You know that he's not looking for forever. Why didn't you just let him go then? Because then the next night, they pan out once again. Whatever producer ended up getting the shot, the foretelling shot of the little insect that drowned in a glass of champs. Good going, because you take a look at the bed, it is fully made. She's standing outside. She don't look happy. And then she went to talk to him in his own room. And listen, it came out during the overnight, during the fantasy suite, that listen, we're in two different areas. This is not going to work. So he, I guess, went back to his room. And he decided then that he can't seeing her in the real world. So he had to drag it on this whole time. Did he just want a vacation? So if anybody knows Gabby, if anybody watched Gabby on Clayton's season of The Bachelor, she dragged him good. Well, she read Jason the clown a little bit as well. She basically, he said, I was fighting for this. She's like, no, you weren't. You were just following my lead. You were not. And she said, you led me on. And then instead of being like, oh, I'm so sorry, she hugged him, and then walked out. ABC should have picked him up and kicked him straight out. They shouldn't have let him even stay. They should have been like, here, I'll walk you out and you can get to getting. Is what they should have done. Then she goes out and she starts crying and everything. I felt so bad for her. And she said he was reckless. He was reckless with me. I tried to not be reckless with anybody. He was reckless with my heart. And she said, I don't know what it is about me makes it so hard to love me. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad for her. But then by the same token, she's like, no one here loves me. What are you talking about? Because Eric Mini Mullet, listen, I love her and Eric together, but that Mini Mullet, it is raging. He loves you. Okay, so second hour comes on for the night. Rachel is on her third date with Zach. They go out. They do all kind of fun things that everybody would do, lovers would do in Mexico. They try on hats. They drink a little bit. They eat bugs, stuff everybody would do when they're in love. It wasn't anything like romantical, and it seemed like they were getting along very well. So fantasy suite comes on and everything was looking up until it looked down in the toilet, because no, he said it didn't turn out as he thought it would. He was talking to Jesse afterwards, and he had said that Rachel, when the cameras went off, Rachel's mask slipped and she was not the same that she was whenever she was, in front of the cameras. And I thought this was odd. She said, she brought it up to him that maybe he's not ready. Are you sure you're ready for this? Are you sure? Now, I'm going to tell you, he said it felt like they were two strangers. So she brought it up are you sure that you are ready for this? And kind of intimated that it was about his age. Okay, listen, he's 25. She's 27. Let me repeat that. He's 25. She's 27. She's not 37. She's 27. She's only 2 years older. I think that this guy, Zach, is pretty level-headed. So I don't know what the F you're saying. So I'm going to say this right now. Things could change. Like, he could end up being a real dick in the end of this. But right now, I think he dodged a bullet. Because I think she's in love with Tino. I think as soon as Tina was like, I love you, I think she's like, that's it. I think that was her way of finding an excuse to let Zach off in her mind. So what's she going to come up with, Avon? Because I'm going to tell you, don't you dare say yes to Tino, because his family's going to push you off a cliff the first time they get a chance to. So the rose ceremony, it's the day of the rose ceremony, or so we think. Gabby only has one guy left, and that's Eric. I think she's walking to his room, and she's saying that walking away from Eric is what needs to be done to protect me. And I'm like, shit, she's gonna walk away from him. But then she's like, I pick you, we don't need a rose ceremony, la, la, la. And I loved it. And I was like, oh shit, okay, we only got like 6 minutes left, but they're gonna do this. All right. And then they showed them back in LA, and Jesse was like, listen, shit went down and we can't cover it all right. We can't cover it all right now because we spent too much time on that bullshit. The men tell absolutely nothing special. So listen, next week, we're going to get to the most shocking finale in Bachelor history. It never is. They're always like, in the most shocking finale of ever, the same shit is going to happen that happened last time. Listen, if one of these Bachelorettes was to turn into a parakeet, I don't know. I mean, cool. That would be shocking. I don't know what's going to be so shocking. I'm predicting, it's not too difficult to predict. Gabby's picking Eric, and rumor has it, and I had heard from somewhere that it's true, that Gabby is going to be on the next season of Dancing with the Stars. And I think that Rachel's going to pick Tino. You deserve what you get if you pick him. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. Going into the season, I was not a big fan. I wasn't that big a fan of Gabby, and I was more on the side of Rachel. After this season, I wish they would have just had one Bachelorette, and I wish it would have been Gabby. I'm just saying. She was more interesting to watch than Rachel. She just was. So we'll see. Next week it's Tuesday. I don't know if it's just gonna be one Tuesday next Tuesday or 2 Tuesdays. I don't know. We'll see. So, okay, everybody, if nobody has told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put hope, love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, and positivity out there, because it's a shit show. And everybody, just remember to stay hydrated, stay cool, and be safe. And I love you. Bye, guys.